Okay, hi everyone, Daryl here. So this is actually the first time I'm trying to put my reviews, which are normally in blog format, where I type it out, and then I'm trying to do a video on it. Actually, I'm doing this because somebody has actually wrote into me and said that, hey, why not you put your reviews in video format? Then I'm like, okay, I never really quite thought of that. But anyway, here goes. And I'm actually going to refer quite closely to my blog article, which I will actually link in the description below. So this is actually my review of Parc Clematis by SingHaiyi Group. And if you guys are already not familiar, so Parc Clematis recently was launched. And uh, I mean, at the point in time when I'm doing this review, it was actually launched like 2 days ago. Then was quite decently received, like 300 odd units were actually sold during the launch. And it's actually a 99-year leasehold project. And its location is actually at Jalan Lempeng. It's actually the former Park West Condominium. So if you're familiar with the condominiums around Clementi MRT station, Clementi Central, then you will know that there's actually a cluster of condominiums which is by the side. It's closer to the Faber Garden, Faber Hills landed property area. Yeah, so this is at Jalan Lempeng, and it's actually on the former Park West condominium site. So SingHaiyi actually went in and then they bought out the owners of Park West condominium in an en bloc exercise. It was actually the third time that the Park West owners were trying to sell their development en bloc. And Park West initially was actually a 432 residential unit development with 4 shops. Then in its place, Parc Clematis will actually replace it and it will have 1,468 units. Okay, so expected date of vacant possession is actually in September 2023. And where this whole development is, right? So this is actually the flagship of Parc Clematis. Okay, so it's actually number 20, Jalan Lempeng. It's a leasehold development. This is the site area. So there's actually going to be 1,450 uh, normal condominium residential units. Then there's going to be 18 strata lots, which is actually like strata landed. So if you are asking me, if like let's say you're a foreigner and then you want to buy the landed properties, no, you can't. Uh, yeah, they're only available for Singaporeans. Then yeah, so this is actually the 8 strata terraces and 4 corner terraces and 6 strata bungalows. Yeah, then that's about it. And then let's move on to where the location is. So this is actually Parc Clematis. Okay, it's actually right next to Regent Park condominium, and this other condominium which actually has completed about, I would say, about 5 years ago, called the Trilink. Then where Clementi MRT is, right, is actually here. So based on let's say like Google Maps, right, if let's say you're traveling from Park Clematis and then you're walking over, right, it will take about 16 minutes, and then the distance you travel is about uh, 1.3 kilometers. So it's about 2 bus stops away if you want to take a bus. So you can actually hop onto the bus, which is just outside Regent Park, and after that it's 2 bus stops away. So this is one, and then this 2. So there are quite a number of buses that travel down to Clementi Central. But the unique thing about um, condominiums in Clementi is that if you want to be situated right inside the central portion of Clementi, which is where the Clementi Mall is or where the wet market is, right, then there are no condominiums there. So the closest condominium that you can actually purchase that will be closest to Clementi MRT station will actually be these 3 condominiums here, which is the Trilink, Regent Park, and currently it's Parc Clematis. So previously was the former Park West condominium. Okay, so if you're asking me whether do I think that this is a good location, I would say that it's subjective, because some people will say that, oh, I really need to be right in the heart of Clementi Central. But the point is, if you want to stay in a condominium, you can't. And in my opinion, right, I do think that Clementi has its own charm. There are a lot of people who will swear by living in a very mature estate, And this is something similar to, let's say, if a condominium comes up in Ang Mo Kio or in Bedok or in Clementi. So there are some people who say, oh, where do you buy properties in Singapore? So they say ABC. What does ABC stand for? Ang Mo Kio, Bedok, and Clementi. It's not trying to tell you guys that you can only buy from these 3 locations, but the fact of the matter is that these 3 locations are very, very matured estates. So what it means is that there are a lot of amenities that are around, and in general, the families do grow up here. So you eventually, there's always going to be a demand that is coming from people who want to stay near their parents, their current family members, because everyone has been living in Clementi for such a substantial period of time. So a lot of people have always said that, why is it that I'm looking at Parc Clematis, or why should I look at Parc Clematis? Then a lot of people say, oh, it's because of the master plan, the Jurong Innovation District, and all that. But the fact of the matter is that I would believe that Jurong has enough housing to sustain or to supply to the people who are working in all those growth areas. Those are the ones that, if let's say I'm working in that area, then I will definitely want to live there. But the main draw to me for a development like Parc Clematis is that the mere fact of the matter is that this is Clementi. This is a very mature estate with ample food options, very good schools around. In fact, if let's say you tell people, say that you live in Clementi, then they will say, oh, it's easy for you to get to the polytechnics, to the universities, to the institutes of higher education. Then there's good primary schools around, good secondary schools around. And then essentially, if you want to get down to like Holland Village, or you want to get down to Orchard Road, it's actually not too far away. Of course, in my blog, right, I actually showed that you could actually get down to Orchard Road in just about wait, let me see the drive, right? It will take like from to Raffles Place or Orchard Road, it'll take about like 15 minutes to get to Raffles Place or Orchard Road. But that is because I was actually doing the Google search during the time where it was actually off peak. So if you guys have already not realized, right, I always do it in the late night, you see. So it's like yeah, actually now it's actually closer to midnight. Yeah, so I always do my reviews and all that in the wee hours of the morning or like close to midnight. So obviously when I do my searches on Google Maps, the results that are thrown back to me are based on very optimal traffic conditions. But the fact of the matter is that actually from Clementi, if you want to travel down to Holland Village and then essentially to Orchard Road, it wouldn't take that long, as well as going to Raffles Place. And one of the I would say like selling points is that it's actually located on the east-west line, which makes commuting easier to the central business district. And it's one bus stop, so one MRT station away from Jurong East as well. So if let's say you really would like to think that you could take advantage of the growth story in the west in Jurong, then I would think then this is as close as you can get to purchasing Jurong. Okay, are there any bad points to this development? I would say that you see, whenever a developer comes in and purchases a development en bloc, they throw onto the market a large amount of units. If let's say you take a look at Trilink, right? So Trilink has 755 units and Regent Park has 276. So of course, when they clear off Park West, sorry, Sunny, I can't remember, from 400 plus units. So Park West are actually 432 units, and then after that, in its place, right, it's going to be Parc Clematis. So Parc Clematis is going to bring on 1,468 units, which is an addition of 1,000 units to the market. So in this aspect, you as a buyer have to understand that the supply is going to be quite high here, and then as well as we have other developments that are coming on board, like Whistler Grand, which is in the West Coast area as well. So you got to factor in that there are more units coming on board. and then whether there's going to be an oversupply. So on that point, you need to think, is demand going to be able to sustain? So of course, what we're going to do is that later on, we're going to take a look at the URA figures and see whether what's the resale market and whether for trialing, and then what's the rental market, and then see whether it makes sense to invest in a unit in Parc Clematis. So I'm not going to give you like a definitive answer like yes, definitely you have to invest in Parc Clematis. I'm just making a case for whatever I read, then I'm trying to take a look and see whether it makes sense to share with you guys. Okay, so for the TriLink, right, for the transactions for the whole of 2019, there were actually 5 transactions. So this is actually on URA website. I have a guide on how to do these searches, and it's readily available to anybody, so you can do it yourself. So the TriLink, right, it's a 99-year leasehold condominium, and the lease actually commenced from 2012. So the one for Parc Clematis, right, the lease actually commenced from 2019, which is August 2019, I think. So it was just like last month. So the lease for TriLink actually is 7 years before Parc Clematis. So the selling prices, right, for units at the TriLink, they actually hover around this region. So you can see that like for a 1,109 square feet unit, was actually transacted at 1.62 million, unit price of 1,461 per square foot. And in fact, if let's say you go up to like the smaller units, right, the 915 square feet units, which would most probably be like a 2-bedder, right, they actually transact for about 1.49 or 1.52 million. Then is about 1,629 or 1,623 square feet. In fact, so I'm just reading off. So this may even be like a 3-bedder, like a really small 3-bedder. Yeah, so this is the rental contract. So if let's say you're looking for a 1-bedroom unit at TriLink, right, you would have to pay somewhat about $2,000 to up to 2,500, and these are actually rental contracts for the last 2 months. So the month of June and July, these are the rental contracts in the TriLink, and you can see that the number of 1-bedroom units that were rented out is relatively decent number of 1-bedrooms that are rented out. And then if let's say you go on to URA website and then you take a look at the master plan for the West region, you could actually understand the more of the Jurong Innovation District and Jurong Lake District. So I'll leave all these links in my description below, and then you can read up about it. You should be reading about it because you shouldn't be just taking everything that a salesperson tells you at face value. It's actually important that buyers know how to do their own research, because internet is freely available to you guys. So you can't say that, oh, I made an uninformed decision because someone pressured me into this buying this private property. But the thing is that information is actually readily available to everyone. So long as you have an internet connection and you are able to do your searches on the URA website and whatnot. I'm not trying to support errant property agents, but there are a large number of property agents actually do take pride in their work, and they do a lot of research, and they do share good information with buyers. Of course, buyers cannot take it at face value, like I mentioned. So sometimes if let's say somebody shares something with you, whether it's a property agent or a friend of yours, just tell him, can you share me the link? Then you go and read up on your own. So this link, I'll leave in the description below. So actually you can scroll down and you can see that there's actually like plans for like Clementi. So there's actually like Clementi. So if you click, right, then you reach here. So what to look out for Clementi? Generally, right, it's the growth is all centered around like Jurong area. So like the Jurong Innovation District or the this Jurong Lake District. So these are where the growth areas are for the West. I don't think that Clementi needs a growth story in the sense that it is essentially a very matured estate, and for someone who has lived in a mature estate like Ang Mo Kio, I would tell you that the convenience that comes with it, right, is unparalleled to anywhere else. I'm not discounting people who stay in like Punggol or whatnot, but I'm just saying that when I travel to my friend's place in maybe like Punggol or the newer estates, like maybe like Pioneer. Then when I travel back to Ang Mo Kio, then I realized that actually this guy has been in this market cooking this dish for so long, and then I feel more comfortable purchasing from a store like that. These are small little intrinsic buying decisions that make people want to purchase a property. Amenities and whatnot are very, very important to people who are buying for own stay. And essentially, even when you purchase a property for investment purposes, you also must understand that people look for convenience and amenities, and Clementi is one of the better places to purchase properties when it comes to convenience. So just coincidental that I happen to be doing the first video review on this, and it being Clementi. Okay, so let's take a look at the site plan. So this is actually the site plan for Parc Clematis, and it's actually quite confusing. I would agree. Is the fact is that the developer SingHaiyi, they actually have 4 different types of properties. It's not different types of properties, but 4 different types of ways of naming, like a cluster of houses or cluster of units in Parc Clematis. And what they do is that they name it as contemporary, elegance. You see, even I can't remember. Contemporary, elegance, masterpiece, and signature. So if my memory is not failing me, masterpiece should be the landed properties. So the landed properties are actually deemed as masterpiece. You hold on, let me open up masterpiece. Okay, so this is masterpiece. Yes, so the landed properties, right, they are deemed as masterpiece. So if you're looking for a strata landed in a condominium, right, so this will be it. And the landed properties are their basement, then first level and second level, and generally they have about 4 bedrooms. So it's like basement where you park your car, then you come up to the first level. Normally first level there's a like the 4th bedroom. Then the second level, right, there are the other 3 bedrooms. Okay, so this is the terrace. So there's a private car park also. Then the 4th bedroom is on the first level of the terrace, and the other 3 bedrooms are on the second level. So these are the bungalows. Yeah, then the bungalows, there's the same. So you come in, there's the basement, and then there's the junior master basement. Then upstairs there's like total there's 5 bedrooms. So there's not 4 bedrooms here. So if you want a 5 bedroom strata landed, then you have to look for the bungalow units for the units at Parc Clematis. Okay, so then the next thing is that these units here, right? These units here, they are, if I'm not wrong, they are considered signature. So this 6 and 6A, right, they are signature. Okay, so here 6 and 6A, they are signature. Okay, so here, so they come in like 3, 4, and 5 bedroom units, and later I'll actually circle out on the site map, right, where these units are, which units I think that are something that you may want to consider as in the choice units, in my opinion. Okay, so then the next one will be contemporary and elegance. So contemporary will be these units here. So these 8 B, C, D, E are actually contemporary. Then elegance, right, will be here. So this is 8A and 8F. So these 3 are elegance, these 4 are contemporary, these 2 are signature, and then the landed properties are masterpiece. So that's how SingHaiyi goes about naming the units. And one more thing to take note is that the units are actually elevated. So like the first level, right, is actually on the 3rd level. So you can see that they are actually lifted up from the ground. Okay, so yeah, it's a plus thing. So if you're actually buying like the 10th floor, it looks like it's on the 13th floor because it's elevated. Okay, so this is actually the site plan, and I actually zoomed in on a couple of units which I think are decent enough. Okay, so if you take a look at let's go back to this thing here again. Okay, if you take a look at Parc Clematis, right, it actually fronts this AYE portion. So 8F, 8E, and 8D, right, they get this sound from the AYE. Uh, there'll definitely be sound. Okay, so it's impossible that you're not going to get sound if you face the AYE side. Okay, so if you don't believe, right, you just ask the people who are living in 100 Trees, Carabel, or the Infinity, right? You ask them whether they can hear the AYE sound. They definitely can hear the AYE sound. So no matter how high you live, okay, doesn't make a difference. Okay, but therefore, of course, there's a buffer away, so it may not sound so bad. But if you really want to purchase choice units, then you have to go for units that maybe face inside or maybe face the landed properties which are unblocked. And then this side also, so this side, right, is actually turning out from AYE, and this side is going in. So this side turning out from AYE, going onto the main Commonwealth Avenue West Road. Okay, so turning into Clementi. So if you want to coming from AYE turning into Clementi, you turn here, then after you turn right, then you get into Clementi already. So this portion also got road noise. Okay, so these are actually smaller roads, and down here, right, all landed property. So if you want to have unblocked landed property views, then you face that side. Okay, the good thing about this development is that all units, right, are north-south facing. So if you see this, okay, this is what I've done. Hopefully you guys can sort of understand. But let me have the diagrammatic chart up first. Okay, so this is actually the site plan, and all units are north-south facing. Okay, so let's see, this is north-south. Can you see this arrow here? This north and south, right? So the west sun comes in from here, and then the morning sun comes in from here. So essentially, this side of the buildings get west sun, but it's not open up. It's not open balcony there. So it's just against the wall. Okay. So if let's say you ask me, of course, people will say that I want to purchase a one bedroom. So a one bedroom unit, right, essentially sells for about, I would say about 800,000, 800,000 plus minus based on the price list, based on the height level. So all the one bedroom units are actually circled in purple. So you can see this 52, 51, and 50, then 37, 36, 35, 28, 27, 26. There are no one bedroom units that are facing the pool. Okay, they are all facing outwards. So the one bedroom units, right, they face this expressway side or the Clementi Avenue 6 side. So if you ask me, right, which one bedroom units do I think are more ideal, then I'll say like 26 to 28 may be more ideal, because this side, definitely the cars travel a bit faster, so along the AYE noise may be higher. Then here they are turning out, so 35 to 37 also will definitely be noisier than 26 to 28. Okay, so if you're looking for a one bedroom unit, you can consider 26 to 28. If you're looking for a two bedroom unit and you want pool facing, then I'll actually advise you to go for maybe 40, 41, or 19 and 18, because they face the center pool. This number 52, which, you know, they come up with all different types of names, and this is actually the main pool, which is called the beach pool. So you face this beach pool here. Okay, and then so if you want two bedroom, right, you can consider these units. But if you want a two bedroom that looks out to the landed property and then generally rather unblocked, then you can consider number 14 or 15. So this side, right, is all the Faber Hills landed area. Okay. Then for the three bedroom are all circled in grey, which is here. So for 62, stack 62 and stack 13, they are facing the landed property side, so it's relatively unblocked. So I would say that if let's say I was in the market for a three bedroom unit, right, then it will be either 13 or 62. If not, then I would consider stack 39, because stack 39 is right at the corner here, and then it's actually right in the center of this beach pool, the central pool or beach pool, which is I guess it's quite impressive. Okay, so You can consider 42 as well, but I'll prefer 39 because it's right in the center. And then the views actually, you get like a full 180-degree view almost all of this beach pool because your balcony is facing this direction. So 42, right, is still maybe facing like 29, stack 29, stack 28. So I would say that in my opinion, right, the best 3-bedroom unit would actually be stack 39. But if you want something that is unblocked views, right, then I would consider stack 13. If not, then stack 62, which has a pool view and unblocked view as well. So these are the three-bedroom stacks which I would recommend to anybody who's looking for a 3-bedroom in Parc Clematis. Okay, then the 4-bedroom units are actually the ones which are circled in pink. So the 4-bedroom units, right, you can consider stack 20. It's actually, you actually have open view of the whole central pool as well. Then 17 as well, but you're right at the corner, so I would still think that 20 would be a better take. Then well, 21 is actually looking this direction, so you still have you still can see this pool, because these are actually landed properties. These are actually the bungalows, and then these are actually the terrace houses. So all these, like you see 2 to 2L, right, these are all low rise, and the landed property is only like 2 levels up. So if you would remember that actually the units are elevated. So if let's say you're buying low level, even like, I don't know, like maybe like 8th floor, right, you're definitely like 10 levels up already. So definitely higher than the top of these landed properties. So this stack 21 actually has pool view as well. But if you want to see like really unblocked landed property view, right, then you purchase stack 3, which is actually part of the signature collection. Okay, then there's like 5-bedroom units as well. So in my opinion, right, it will be like stack 6. Yeah, so landed property wise, if you want inter terrace or corner terrace, then your choices are only from number 2 to 2L only. And then if you wanted a bungalow, right, it will be 10 to 20. So you're already in the market for a strata lander, and then you want to consider, right, then I would think that I mean, there are differences. So it's something that you would have to consider which pool you want to face, or you know how far you want to be from certain facilities. Then you make a purchase for the strata landed. Yeah, so once again, 1-bedroom, I'll recommend this bunch here, 26 to 28. Okay, 2-bedroom, in my opinion, 1918. 3-bedroom, I would pick stack 39. Okay, so 4-bedroom, I would pick stack 20. If not, then I'll pick stack 3, overlooking the landed property. 5-bedroom, go for stack 6. Okay, in my opinion, next to the swimming pool, quite private, overlook the rest of the development, this inwards also. So yeah, so that's all from me, and this is actually my review, and I'll actually leave all the links of whatever thing that I've mentioned, right, in the description below, and I'll leave a link for you to actually download the brochures, which my colleague will actually upload to a website, and then you guys can actually just download. And if you're keen on any of these, you're keen on Parc Clematis, just take a look, and I'll try to work on more of my property reviews in video format moving forward. So whoever who requested for me to do it in this way, I think it's also good. So I don't have to repeat to every single buyer who asks me which unit to purchase. So if I do it once on video, right, then after that, I can actually share with everyone. And anyone who is free to want to know more about Parc Clematis, you can actually watch my video or read my blog article as well. So thanks for watching. Yeah, if you're not already subscribed, just subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.